Wake up and you'll find that the global IQ is dropped by 1,000 times. The once universally known 99 multiplication table has become the world's most difficult math problem. Xin Feng replied, "Yeah, is there a problem?" Diayi asked, "How many surprises do you still have up your sleeve?" Xin Feng said, "Just random writing." Xin Feng explained casually. Diayi naturally knew that he was just brushing him off, so he reluctantly drove Xin Feng back home. In no time, the car parked steadily in front of Xin Feng's house. "Do you want to come to our house for dinner?" Diayi was surprised to hear Xin Feng inviting him to his house for dinner. The shocked expression on his face took a while to recover. "No, I'm not going." "All right." Xin Feng actually sympathized with Diayi. After all, they were both lonely people in this city. "Prepare well for the elite tournament and bring glory to our district." Diayi didn't expect Xin Feng to invite him to his house for a meal, and he looked excitedly at Xin Feng. Xin Feng got out of the car, and Diayi didn't stay and drove away. "Master, there's a phone call, a phone call." Xin Feng's phone rang in his pocket, constantly vibrating. Without looking, Xin Feng knew who it was, and he answered the call as he walked towards his house. "Hello, little genius, it's me." A deep voice came from the other end of the phone. "Xin Feng, about the elite tournament?" "Director, you're still smart." Beep. Xin Feng hung up before the director could finish speaking. Impatiently, Xin Feng put his phone in his pocket. After a while, the phone vibrated again. Xin Feng took it out and put it on silent mode. Just as he was about to put the phone back in his pocket, a text message came in. "You brat, how dare you hang up on me? I have prepared the past year's questions for the elite tournament. Your classmates will give them to you tomorrow." Xin Feng shook his head helplessly, put his phone away, and walked towards the front door. He immediately rushed to the computer desk after opening the door. Ding ding ding. Xin Feng sat in front of the computer, crazily looking at the messages. Business was getting better and better. Cold young master #Yuan, score God, how did I do on my test? Score God, if you did well, go get it yourself. Cold young master #Yuan, score God, did you sign it for me? Score God, you'll know if you go get it. Cold young master #Yuan, alright, I'll go get it now. Xin Feng opened other messages, all of them were about homework. Xin Feng replied to each one. Just as he finished replying, several friend requests came in. Xin Feng accepted them one by one. A completely black profile picture caught Xin Feng's attention. The username was Person with Big Deals. Xin Feng still clicked agree. In no time, the black profile picture kept jumping, sending a long string of messages. Person with big deals, do you accept big deals? Person with big deals, will you accept? Big deal? Xin Feng quickly typed on the keyboard to reply. Score God, what should I write? Person with big deals, 10 sets of test papers. It really was a big deal. Xin Feng couldn't help but smile. Score God, okay. Person with big deals, but I have a requirement, face-to-face transaction. Score God, you leave it in the pavilion, I will go get it. Person with big deals, no, I want to meet you in person. Score God? Person with big deals, which school are you from? Score God, Nanshan Elementary School. Person with big deals, then let's make the transaction at Nanshan Elementary School. 10 sets of test papers? Earn 1,000 for one set, wouldn't that be earning 10,000? Let's just meet, wear a hat and a mask, no one will recognize. Score God, alright, give me the money first. Person with big deals, what if I give you the money and you don't do it? Score God, I'm not that kind of person, then let's first exchange half of the deposit. Person with big deals, 3 days later, hand over the money and the goods at the same time at Nanshan University. Score God, full payment? Person with big deals, 3 days later, full payment. After saying this, the person went offline. Xin Feng couldn't help but smile, he would have 10,000 yuan in his hands? But why does this person need so many? Who cares? As long as he can make money. Xin Feng didn't think too much, he printed out today's test paper and started working on it. Xin Feng took pictures of the questions and sent them over. He received unanimous praise in the replies. Matchstick seller, score God. You are my God. You're amazing. Mushroom picker, score God, I'm your fan, can you give me an autographed photo? Lonely wolf, score God. Both my son and I are your fans. Looking at this strange string of usernames and content, Xin Feng couldn't help but laugh and cry. He looked at the time and it was already 8 o'clock. Xin Feng immediately changed his clothes and put on the familiar fox demon mask before heading out to the numerology room. It was a good place that he visited every day. Xin Feng skillfully made his way through the internet cafe and quickly arrived at the numerology room. Taking a glance around, Xin Jia was not there today. Another girl came to receive Xin Feng. This time, Xin Feng topped up 1,000 yuan. Topping up 500 yuan each time was too troublesome, and he came here every day anyway. After topping up the money, Xin Feng had a sudden idea. No one in the first grade dares to compete with me anymore. It's only said that higher grades cannot go to lower grades, but lower grades can challenge higher grades. He. In order to not attract too much attention, Xin Feng slowly walked into the second grade classroom. The second grade was indeed different. As soon as Xin Feng entered, he could feel a slight chill, which was in stark contrast to the outside temperature. 2 words: comfortable. The space inside was much larger than the first grade, and there were fewer people, so it wasn't as noisy. Even the sofas were made of leather, and there were cakes and drinks on the tables. If the second grade was like this, wouldn't the higher grades be even more amazing? Xin Feng quietly sat on the sofa, casually picked up a glass of watermelon juice, and started drinking. 2 people at the gambling table were arguing fiercely over a question. Chen Hao, can you answer this question yourself? A man stared at the man sitting opposite him with his eyes wide open. Xin Feng listened to the voice and looked over. He saw a familiar figure. Brother Hao? Wasn't he banned? How could he appear here? Of course I can answer the question I asked. Brother Hao stared at the man in front of him with a sly smile. Chen Hao, do you think you can do whatever you want just because you have some connections? You were banned for 2 years and you secretly came here. Aren't you afraid that I will report you? The man's face turned red, and he shouted at Chen Hao. Hey, why are you barking like a dog? If you can't answer, you want to report me? My cousin is the boss, why don't you try reporting me? Brother Hao remained calm. Humph. Remember this. Who are you threatening? There's no one in the entire Qinghua district that I'm afraid of. Brother Hao's mouth curved into a smile as he spoke slowly. The man gave Chen Hao a fierce look and left in a carefree manner. You dare to threaten me even if you can't answer? Come on, who wants to come? Let's continue. Chen Hao looked at the man's back and spoke slowly, shouting at everyone else. I'll do it. Xin Feng finished his glass of watermelon juice and slowly walked towards the gambling table. Fox Demon Mask, it's you? Chen Hao clearly recognized Xin Feng and was somewhat surprised. That's right, it's me. Xin Feng sneered. Do you think I won't do anything to you? Chen Hao's face showed anger as he stared at Xin Feng. If you dare, go ahead. Xin Feng calmly sat down at the gambling table. Is he the Fox Demon Mask who dominated the first grade? Wow, the Fox Demon Mask. The Fox Demon Mask is here, no one will be spared. The first grade actually dares to challenge the strong in the second grade? He dares to challenge the second grade? I think he's just here to show off. The surrounding crowd stood there in shock, whispering to each other. Do you really think I can't beat you? Last time, I underestimated you, but this time, I won't show any mercy. Chen Hao sneered, and the anger on his face gradually faded. Wow, then let's give it a try. Xin Feng joked. Smooth talker, we'll see if you're still laughing later. Chen Hao laughed and said fiercely. Stop talking nonsense, let's start. Xin Feng urged impatiently. You have the courage, a first grader daring to come to the second grade. Don't think you can win so easily this time just because of some stupid rules. Chen Hao waved his hand, and the referee came in. Let the match begin. The referee didn't waste any time and started dealing the cards on the table. Ace of spades. Chen Hao's laughter filled the numerology room. Xin Feng, on the other hand, flipped open the cards in front of him without any expression. 6 of spades, I'll go first, bet 500. Those stupid rules didn't apply to Xin Feng. Heaven helps me too, I have courage, I'll bet 500. Chen Hao said loudly. A first grader dares to challenge a second grader. I have to say, you have courage, but no strength. I'll bet 100 with Chen Hao. A man standing behind Chen Hao slowly spoke. Then I'll bet a little too, not much, 50. I'll bet 100. Everyone took out their money and placed it on the table. What is 8 divided by 4? Xin Feng looked at the money on the table, wasting no time. Chen Hao's face changed. How do you know a second grader's question? Do you know the answer yourself? If you know, answer it, don't waste time. Xin Feng urged impatiently. It's 2. Chen Hao gradually spoke up. A red light lit up in front of Chen Hao. Correct answer, 1 point. The host slowly announced. Cheers erupted from behind. Xin Feng smirked. What is 16 divided by 8? Chen Hao's face changed, staring angrily at Xin Feng. Do you know the answer to this question yourself? If you can answer, then answer. Shut up. I'll forfeit this question, you answer it. I don't believe you know. Xin Feng was interrupted by Chen Hao before he could finish his sentence. It's 2, idiot. Xin Feng helplessly shrugged. After speaking, a red light lit up in front of Xin Feng. The blue team answered correctly, 1 point, the red team doesn't score. The host slowly announced. How is this possible? This is content we haven't even learned yet. Chen Hao's face was filled with shock. Damn! He can answer questions that even Chen Hao can't answer. Oh my god! What kind of monster is he? Are you sure he's a first grader? The people behind Chen Hao stared at Qin Feng in disbelief. I am at a level you will never reach in your lifetime. Qin Feng replied with a smile. Who are you exactly? Chen Hao stared at Qin Feng in disbelief. There's one question left. What is 36 divided by 6? Qin Feng calmly spoke. These questions are all second grade level. Qin Feng didn't expect this idiot to be so idiotic that he couldn't answer them. Humph. I don't believe you know the answer to this question either. I forfeit. Chen Hao's face broke out in a cold sweat, but his words were firm. I already said you're an idiot, you don't believe it, it's 6. Qin Feng couldn't help but tease. As soon as he finished speaking, a red light lit up in front of Qin Feng. The red team answered correctly. The red team wins, the host slowly announced. How is this possible? He's a first grader. This can't be. He must be in a higher grade. A first grader defeated a second grader. The people behind were shocked, their jaws dropped to the ground. Qin Feng casually said, second grade questions are too easy. I'll go to the third grade when I have time. As soon as he finished speaking, the people around him, who were still shocked, became even more shocked. Third grade? A first grader challenging the third grade? Has the fox demon gone crazy? Does he think the third grade is the same as the second grade? Third grade? I think he's addicted to showing off. Chen Hao hadn't recovered from the shock. Who are you exactly? This is impossible. Chen Hao stared at Qin Feng in shock. Who are you? Take off your mask. Seeing Qin Feng's silence, Chen Hao raised his hand and reached towards Qin Feng's face. Stop! Qin Feng was about to dodge, but a deep voice came from the entrance. Big Brother Dong. Everyone looked towards the entrance. There's freedom of dress here, Chen Hao. What are you doing? Big Brother Dong at the entrance snorted and walked in slowly. Is this the referee from last time? Big Brother Dong. Although we checked that he's a first grader last time, today he can answer second grade questions. I suspect he's in a higher grade. Chen Hao looked at Big Brother Dong with indignation. Do you suspect that our calculation room is covering for him? Big Brother Dong walked up to the two of them and said without any dissatisfaction. I dare not, it's just possible that the machine is malfunctioning. Chen Hao said somewhat humbly. Chen Hao, don't forget that you are someone who has been banned for 2 years. For the sake of our boss, I will turn a blind eye to it, but don't push it too far. Donga spoke slowly. Donga, do you want to make a big deal out of this and send people to investigate? Donga interrupted Chen Hao. Humph, don't let me catch you with any evidence. Hauga glanced at Donga, then at Qin Feng, and left with a cold snort. Are you okay? He has a connection with our boss, so I can't be too obvious. Donga looked at Qin Feng. I'm fine, thank you, Donga. Qin Feng happily put away all the gambling coins. You've gained quite a bit. Which school are you a genius from? Donga curiously asked, looking at Qin Feng's spoils. Nanshan Elementary School. Qin Feng didn't hide it. Oh, that school that ranks at the bottom. I never expected such a genius to come from that school. Donga was slightly surprised. You flatter me, Qin Feng humbly replied. By the way, since you're so talented, will you participate in the ranking competition this time? Donga seemed to remember something. Then your Nanshan Elementary School won't be at the bottom anymore. Donga laughed. Donga, these are for you. Thank you. Qin Feng handed 2 handfuls of gambling coins to Donga. Do we still need this between us? Although Donga said this with his mouth, he quickly took the gambling coins from Qin Feng's hands. Donga, I'll be leaving now, Qin Feng smiled. Take care, if you need anything, you can always find me. Donga shouted after Qin Feng's departing figure. Qin Feng walked quickly out of the second grade private room.